So welcome back on board the Versys, everybody. It's a lovely day. You've been doing pretty well, whilst the rest of the country swelters out in 35 Celsius weather. We've been having a fair bit of cloud and temperatures not really above about 18 Celsius. And that includes the day, nice and sunny now, but a bit of a polar air mass, and it's actually quite chilly this morning. I was out at 3 o'clock this morning, or up until 3 o'clock this morning, in my shorts, but it was alright. I was out again by about 9 o'clock and it was quite chilly in places. 16 on the clock, 16 Celsius. There we go. Well, it's a really clear day. I'll just turn the corner on the right here onto the A55 and you'll see what I mean. The mountain's looking really well. Nice dapple of shadows of cloud on them. Ideal walking weather. And we're kind of heading out more or less over there on the right hand side. We're going to do a little bit of the Nantlle Ridge, not all of it. I'm not a tourist, so I don't need to do all of it. I've done it before. My daughter did it last week. Just having a bit of a quick burn, really. Get rid of some of those excess calories. Do a little bit of drone flying. A little bit of mental de-stressing, I suppose you could say. Of which the motorcycling is part, of course. Been out for several days. It's been a little windy, a little cloudy, occasionally a little bit of drizzle. Suits me down to the ground though. I don't like being hot. I really wouldn't like to be in England this week. But there we are. It's this is the backside of a cold front, which is why it's nice and clear. Got all nice clean air coming in from Iceland. So it'll be a nice refreshing walk. Right then, let's see if we can get past this tractor before we get to the junction. Watch out for this car. There we are. Thank you for being observant. We'll pull off on the left here. It's about time I started thinking about booking my bike in for a service. It's can be quite busy in these bike shops. I've got round about a month or so before we hit the 7,500 mile mark, which is the second service. I've had no problems at all, bar a flat battery in the middle of winter because I had that rubbish Oxford oxidizer thing, which I swapped out for a better version. No problem since. And yeah, we'll see see how much that costs me. I am sort of putting about £1,000 aside for that because I do need new tyres as well. I'm hoping it'll come in substantially less than that, but yeah. Oh, that was unfortunate. Just you just missed F35 going through. It's coming. Oh, there you go. There they go. Two of them together. Here we go. get rid of this learner, hopefully. Very old Citroen Zara. Used to have one of those. They were alright, didn't last that long though, really. Oh, a bit of ventilation, shall we? And there's Mynydd Mawr ahead of us. With Snowdon, the peak of Snowdon. Yeah, get ahead of this lorry. There we go. So, through Llanllefni here now. This, believe it or not, used to be the main road. In effect, between Carnarvon and Porthmadog. And it was always full of traffic on a weekend. Traffic jams going through here because people park at the side of the road because it's a village that was never designed for cars. So, yeah, I remember those days. It was usually raining, I seem to remember, going in the car with my parents to do something, Lord only knows what, other than the fact it would have been immensely boring. Not people given to doing anything particularly interesting, my parents, I'm afraid. Oh. So I've spent the rest of my life making up for that. You see people still park their cars here on the side of the road because there's no alternative. And here's a bus. Now what are you going to do? You're going to go up on the pavement, fair enough. Right, all the discretion can be the better part of valour there. Yeah, it's not much better these days than it was all those years ago in the 1970s. But hey, at least it's sunny. It's a shame these places, because when it's sunny in summer it's really nice, but for the most part it's usually cloudy and rainy. Yeah, it looks pretty bloody damn miserable. Everything covered in pebbled ash, of course, for the most part. Some examples here which aren't, which is quite nice to see. So we shall make our way out of this irritating place, get rid of him. It's the big Nebo TV relay mast in all its glory today. Now we can take the fork off here, but we won't bother because the road's not particularly good surface. So we'll go into Nebo proper here. There we are. Yet another place in Wales known by a biblical place name. Sign of the religious fervour that gripped the area back in the sort of 19th mainly century. He's a friendly man there. Yeah. So the Nantlle Ridge is ahead of us. We're going to be going up just up there in the middle of your picture now. And, itching to get going. Actually, I haven't had a good burst of uphillism for a while. Now then, do I go down there, Ffordd y Llyn? I probably do, don't I, seeing as it's called Ffordd y Llyn? If I don't, it's going to take me to the Llyn anyway. Yeah. This is the way. This is the way. Very small roads. Stuck in a rut, really. Take it fairly gingerly, because if I lose my line, things are going to go south quite quickly. I'm used to it, of course, but you know, things happen. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous today. I'm going to be sweating, that's for sure, but do you know what? I didn't bring any sun cream either. It's a bit remiss of me. I've got quite sun damaged skin, particularly a neck. Very, 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 very rarely get burnt, even without sun cream. It's the advantage of having had a sort of steady exposure to sun all my life. I think the statistics do say that if you have that kind of consistent exposure, if you're a farmer, hill walker, fisherman and all that kind of stuff, you do tend to have a lower incidence of cancer overall, but of course that's just statistics. What actually happens in practice is another matter. So we might go up that way, straight ahead, or we might go off slightly on the left here where the land is a little bit gentler to start off with. I don't know. Oh, here we are. Gosh, we're here already. Well, we certainly won't be going down the little track. I'm going to be pretty careful where I park the bike here. It's quite soft. Yeah, take our chances here, I think. Let's decide what gear we're in. Don't be a Honda. There we are. Welcome to Nantlle and the Nantlle Ridge. Okay, there we are. Just waited for the fan to cool the bike down a little bit. It was at 105 Celsius. I like to let it cool down a little bit below boiling before I switch it off. So, pretty good convection over there. I'm sure that can produce a shower or two if it wants to over Snowdon maybe. Nothing here. Sun's pretty brutal for a man without any sun cream, but there you go. So the route today is going to take us over a little river that's down below here out of shot, across and up onto the top there, and then across just a little bit. I guess it's going to take us something like, I don't know, an hour and a half, something like that, to get to the end of the walk, and another hour or so to come back, maybe. Not so long. Here we go, over Troll Bridge. This is the stream that comes out of Nantlle, which is just 100 yards or so up there. And then this thing here is an old sheepfold, I think. It's a bit derelict now, like most of them are. That's a bit more derelict than others. Great day. Nice big cumulonimbus clouds, anvil clouds reaching the top of the tropopause there. Not reaching the top of the tropopause, but getting to the tropopause, I should say. A good indication of a polar air mass. Right, we shall carry on. Yeah, do you want some sort of not so great news? I just noticed the heather is flowering. We call it Greg in Wales, and it started to flower. And what's so bad about that, I hear you ask? Well, it's the earliest sign of summer passing. As soon as that comes out, you know we've gone past the solstice and autumn is coming. And soon a whole Rurry range will turn a beautiful purple as all of the Grieg, all of the heather comes into flower together, and the bees go crazy. They love it for making honey. Ooh, that's a bit rickety. And so yes, when I had a house in the village just over the ridge here about 25 years ago, and as soon as I spotted the heather flowering, I knew I had to get a move on renovating the house and the outside, because the weather was going to eventually break down. So a good motivator. Okay, so if you just put up with the wind for a little bit, I'll try and point out where we are. Over here we've got Talysarn and the old slate quarries in at the start of the Nantlle Valley, which runs up that way. And then you've got some sandy bits over there, that's Llanddwyn. And Newborough Beach, which is very popular with tourists because of YouTube, of course. Bit of a headache there because there's so many people coming. And you've got Llanddwyn Island, Carnarvon Airport, just in front of the sand here on the mainland side. A couple of wind turbines, far too small to see on this camera. And Pennygroes just at the middle distance here, and Carnarvon's just over the hill and around the corner, as it were. And this is the North Llyn Peninsula running southwest. So yeah, very nice views today. Very clear. I haven't had clear weather like this for a while this summer. Looks like the convection isn't very self-sustaining. It's just the air rising over the mountains, water condensing as the air lifts over the Eryri range. Thankfully there's nothing here at all. I could do with a little bit of cloud cover, get this ultraviolet off my skin, but there we are. There's nothing we can do about it. It's very pretty down there. I should imagine that hardly anybody ever goes there. And some quite spectacular cliffs, although they don't look so much here. Well, I didn't bring any food. I had a reasonable lunch. I got some water, but look, the saviour of all hill walkers without food. Wild blueberries, or bilberries, or as we call them in Welsh, llys, good ones as well. I've got a nice scoop to harvest these with back home, and one of the best places to go and collect them around here is just over the hill. They tend to grow better in on northern slopes, which this isn't particularly. It's more of a southern one. Wow, they taste real good. The only thing is you've got to get to them before the sheep do. There's not any sheep around at the moment. Sorry about the camera work, but you know, the berries take priority right now. Really good for you. Look at that. Good sized one as well. It really tastes really nice. Well, I turned off the camera a little bit too quickly. Look, we've got a little shield, is it? I suppose you could call it in Scottish. Little sheep shelter, which has got even nicer blueberries inside it. Look at that. Big ones. Well, the good news is that this path seems to be taking us around sort of the side of the summit, so not as bad as I thought. We'll probably emerge out there, except round the corner somewhere. There you can see we're pretty much at Nantlle Ridge height now, not far off anyway, so we'll press on, munching a bit more blue. Ooh, some nice ones here, loads of them. Yeah, we're quite high up now. Started all the way down there, sorry about the wind again. Down there, the junction of the road, and then all the way back up this back here. And then we're just going to press on. And over the ridge, and we'll get a very nice view today of, can you guess, Cwm Pennant, which is a Cwm Tekeford, the fairest of all valleys. If you go in there, go with respect, don't leave your rubbish, don't start fires, just go, look, contemplate and go home. Glad that you could do such a thing. Oh, little notification from my daughter. I just sent her a picture of the blueberries because she was eating loads of them when she came up here just a few days ago. If you get a chance to make a bilberry or wild blueberry crumble, do so. They all disintegrate, the berries disintegrate into this intense deep purple juice, and when that's warm with some crumble and some cold ice cream on top, well, never a nicer crumble will you ever taste. In fact, never a nicer sweet thing will you ever taste. Get yourself a scoop, the one that's got little sort of prongy fingers sticking out. It's easy to harvest them, just as long as you do it fairly gently. The tendency first is to go at them with some energy, but that just picks up a load of branches and leaves and stuff, which you don't want. Oh, well, there we are. I really must remember the microphone next time, mustn't I? But there we go. Right folks, well I've got a bit of shelter, in fact the only shelter in the lee of this nice stone wall. It's a little bit windier than I thought, quite a lot colder. It's actually quite chilly. I'm not going to go much further today, in fact I'm not going to go any further at all. So just a quick hop over the wall. I'm going to go make my way all the way down there, back again to the bike, and make my way home. A little bit tired today, didn't get much sleep, and the wind was forecast to go down a bit, but in fact it seems to just be stable, and in fact it might be increasing a little bit. So there you go, the luck of the draw. So we'll see you down at the bike. Finish off the aviation, got a Chinook going down the Nantlle Valley. It's probably going to go down the Menai Strait, I guess, unless it's going back to RAF Valley, which is that away. Helps if I turn the key, doesn't it? Right. Okay, let's try to get out of here on this gravel here and take it easy. Okay, let's go back home this way. Get a good look at the old mast. The road's a little bit better as well this way. Right, let's get the old visor down, a few flies around. The light's not so good for the mast, but there we are. You get the idea. There's a little bit of cloud out towards Ireland. Not quite clear enough to see Ireland today. Some other ways to go up the mountain that way. Keep my eye on the road, and not a lot of latitude to get positioning wrong here. Oh dear, what a glorious day. Where are we up to time wise? 4:45. Gosh. Well, I didn't start off until about, I don't know, 12:30, something like that. Yeah, there we are. Join a little road here which runs parallel. I think we have to... I was going to say turn right. Can we turn right? I think we can. There's probably a junction down there, but I think we'll turn right here. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. There's the old mast. Make our way along here. The old Versys takes these different roads in its stride, no problem really, coping with its less than scintillating rider. Now, do I turn down here? Probably do. See the point of going that way personally. Yep. Old abandoned cottage there. Could be a house for somebody, but no. We really need some kind of policies to bring these houses back into use. Oh, here comes a car at a rather excessive speed. Take it a little bit more easy, don't we? Yeah, there's just loads of houses that can be brought back into use. They might be old, they might be stone built, and they might need traditional skills and techniques to bring them back into use. They're never going to be highly insulated modern type houses, but you know, people have no homes to live in. There we go. Let's go home. Starting to get busy. It's 5 o'clock, I guess. Off they all go. Let's hope there's no speed trap right ahead. It quite often is. Yeah, well, as expected, there was a speed trap at the top of the hill there. I think everybody had clicked onto what was going on. Everybody was down to about 50 by the time they were passing it. Dear, what wonder what went on there then? Bit of a prang. Usual lights on. Right, let's see if I can fit in here or not. Right, we can pull in here. No, police car. I guess they get quite a hammering, don't they? How many people are looking behind them? Not many today. It's 5 o'clock. Must get home. Must get home. Get ahead of the bus. Maybe. Right, we'll get ahead of the fire truck here. Right, over Windy Bridge. Well, we're not going to get too far ahead of this traffic, so that will be sufficient achievement for today. So thanks for joining me on the somewhat curtailed walk, but it was quite nice all the same. And please like and subscribe as always, and we'll catch you on the next one. It's going to be a bit windy and changeable for the next few days now, so not too much biking and hiking until next week now, I guess. So until then, until the next one, ride safe.